Welcome, everybody, to Kicking It with Crowder. I'm your host, Tyler Crowder, and we are joined by some special guests today, the Atlanta Falcons UK. I have Daniel and Cal. Guys, welcome to the show today.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
So, guys, I just want to say, rise up. You know, I'm a big Atlanta Falcons fan, but I'm actually I was born in Marietta, which is, right outside of Atlanta. Live in Columbus, Georgia now, so about an hour and a half away from the stadium. So, you can understand why I'm a Falcons fan. But, guys, why are y'all Falcons fans, Daniel and Cal? I want to know what brought you to like the Atlanta Falcons. And I guess we'll start with Daniel first. What made you like the Atlanta Falcons, Daniel?
Honestly, pure chance. It's not really a very romantic story or anything. We didn't really have a team to follow. We'd been watching NFL casually, a couple of Super Bowls and things like that, and then Cal texted me one morning after the Eagles Patriots one, was it?
No, the Rams v.
the one after.
Rams v.
The Rams v. Patriots one, and he basically said we need to choose a team. So we started doing all those awful online quizzes that ask you about your personality and like, are you a winner and all these things. And we kept getting two teams. We kept getting the Saints and the Falcons. I don't know how that happens. Not a clue how they're linked. But we started just doing a bit of research on them both and like looking in the stadiums and what sort of players they had and playing styles and things like that. And then, here we are. A couple of years later, and we're committed.
Very committed. Very committed.
And Cal, so when it came down to the Saints and Falcons, what kind of drew you to the Atlanta Falcons over the hated New Orleans Saints? I do not like New Orleans Saints. I don't like Will Smith, Drew Brees. I don't like any of those guys, but I respect them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I respect those guys. I'm not going to disrespect them, but I just don't like them. I don't like them on the two Sundays we play each year, and that goes for the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. That's just how it goes. And it always seems like players I like always end up going to these three teams. We have to deal with Christian McCaffrey, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Drew Brees, Michael Thomas. We have to deal with all these guys twice a year. And, it's a bitter rivalry right now. I would say Saints-Falcons is probably a top 5 rivalry right now in the NFL.
Without doubt.
Definitely, I agree. I think it was just we was looking through like the kits, etc., the colour kits in the stadiums, and I think we both said like, right, both send a message, have it in the message bar and send it. And so we both picked the Falcons, and obviously we didn't actually know they were rivals at first because we didn't know much about NFL at all. Yeah. So we obviously researched before and was like, they're actual rivals. But what is the chances of actually getting two teams and obviously like one of the biggest rivals? But obviously we picked the better team and better team in the future anyway. But the right team and the correct decision, I would say.
So in English Premier League terms, right, this is like Arsenal versus Tottenham or something like that. Like, they don't like each other, right? Okay.
Exactly.
All right,
Cal is literally an Arsenal fan as well, so that's a perfect summary.
He's an Arsenal fan. Who do you like in the EPL, Daniel?
I'm a United fan, Manchester United.
United? Gotcha. See, so I try to keep up. I just can't get into the English Premier League as much as like some of my friends and things like that. And I don't really have a team. I just kind of like the good teams. I root for Man City or Liverpool or, basically whoever's, in the top 4. Whoever's in the top 4 is who I kind of root for right now. I used to like United back in the day. One of my buddies is an Arsenal fan, so he's trying to convert me to Arsenal right now. And I know
don't do it.
He's been upset. Oh man, he's been upset recently. And so I kind of get it. So you pick a team and you kind of roll with it. And so when do they play? So when they play on Sundays, what time is it there where you guys are at? Like if they play a 1 o'clock game, it's
6 o'clock. So most games we can obviously watch. Obviously, I work shifts, so I tend to miss a couple. But even if I finish at 6 o'clock, I'll still get like the last 2 hours. But most games, I think this year we get to watch. Well, to be fair, we said, like even Danny said, he'll book time off for the game, like the midweek games, etc. So I don't think we've been missing any games this year. So perfect timing, really.
Awesome.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, what we got to do, guys, is we got to get you down to Atlanta. You got to come to a game at some point.
Definitely.
Maybe not this year, but at some point we got to get you down to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm a season ticket holder, but right now it's up in the air.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, if you ever want to go to a game, you got 2 tickets right here, okay, guys?
Thanks,
But
Awesome.
you know,
Definitely
you got to
appreciate
go
it.
to the stadium.
Oh, the
That is one
stadium.
of
The
the best
stadium's
things
insane,
about
isn't it?
the stadium is insane, and pictures really don't do it justice. Like the map, how big it is, and how the Georgia Dome, where the Falcons used to play, was very big as well. This thing, like, I mean, it makes the Georgia Dome look tiny. And just when you're in there and the roof's open and the kickoff's going on, I mean, it's just an awesome experience. And I really hope you guys do get to go down to experience a game. And this year, we're really excited about 2020 Atlanta Falcons. A lot of optimism heading into the season. And who's your favorite player before we go ahead and get started on the season? I want to know, Cal, who's your favorite Atlanta Falcon?
Oh God, you've got to. Oh, it can be a couple. That's the problem. I think because we're so new to the Falcons as it is. I think last year my favorite player was actually Hooper, which is obviously he's gone now, so I've had to change.
Yeah.
But I think
He's a Cleveland Brown now.
Yeah, I
wish
think
him well. Wish him well.
definitely. I think Matt Ryan and obviously Julio are the obvious ones, but I think Ridley for me. I think because he's only in his third year,
Yeah.
how well he's done in the first 2 years is insane. And this year he's smashing all the targets. What he'll set himself. And I think just because it's such an exciting player to watch. Obviously you have like Julio, Matt Ryan, etc. We love, etc. But it's got to be Ridley, and I think Danny's face, I think it could be the same.
You literally stole the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say,
so we got two Ridley fans.
Pretty much for the same reasons. I think it's just because he's so young and he's been so successful points and run wise and everything already. And I think that's what excites us because we're pretty new fans and he's still pretty new, only going into his third season. I feel like he's our starting point, if that makes sense. So we're going to see his whole career now, whereas we're only seeing like the later stages of other players. So I think that's what's drawn us in.
And Calvin Ridley, I'm telling you, this is a guy who's coming into his third year. He's a great route runner. What he's been able to do this offseason, I mean, he's been in the gym. You can tell he's ripped to shreds right now. He's absolutely a beast out there on the practice field right now. I know that's a little bit different on the games on Sunday, but this guy has performed in the past. His first year, he was good. He got better his second year. And a lot of people are expecting a huge leap from Calvin Ridley this year. And I'm with you guys. I really like him. He goes to work every day. Him and Julio, maybe one of the best combos in the entire National Football League. So good answer right there. I am a Julio fan. Julio's my favorite player. He has been my favorite player since he got drafted. Big Matt Ryan fan as well. But Julio Jones for me, he puts his lunch in his lunch pail and goes to work every single day. He doesn't say much, and that's what I love about the guy. I mean, he's not a diva type receiver, and Julio Jones will go down as one of the 5-10 best receivers to ever play in the NFL. So I'm with you guys. We got the Alabama guy, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley both played at Alabama and played for the Falcons. So we got some great additions this year. We've really actually made some really key additions this year. Signing Dante Fowler, the former Jacksonville Jaguar defensive end and Los Angeles Rams defensive end. He's a great addition to the team. But we've also done some things with A.J. Terrell, drafting him in the first round, Marlon Davidson in the second round, Matt Hennessy in the third round. What guys are you most excited? And I cannot forget, of course, signed Todd Gurley as well. Todd Gurley, the former Georgia Bulldog, he is ready and welcome back to the Atlanta this year. Which guy are you looking forward to the most out of all those guys? A.J. Terrell's getting a lot of hype right now in a camp. Todd Gurley, Dante Fowler. Who's your pick? Daniel, we'll start with you on this one.
I'll start with what my heart initially said. So it has actually changed since I've been watching the training camp videos and everything like that. But my heart was Marlon Davidson. From the second that we drafted him, that was my pick. Just his personality, and obviously he's got a hell of a lot of ability, but he's got the mentality that I want to see in players that I like. So he's got the I am the best and that's it sort of mentality. And I think that's what you need
Yeah.
stepping into the NFL. As the training camps have gone on, there's other people like AJ's obviously got a lot more hype in the training camp than he initially had. But yeah, I'll stick to Marlon Davidson just for what I think he could be in a couple of years' time. Very exciting.
And I love the pick of Marlon Davidson right there. An added addition to the defensive line who can go right there with Grady Jarrett and possibly form a nice 1-2 punch on the inside. And then we need a Dante Fowler to step up, another guy we signed this year.
Yeah.
But Tack McKinley is a guy that I'm really looking forward to in this fourth season. He really hasn't done much, kind of been a bust so far. Falcons do not pick up his fifth-year option. So I'm hoping this defensive line, and Marlon Davidson is a great pick. But you're right, A.J. Terrell is getting a lot of the love right now, and I think it's because he goes up with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst. He goes up against these guys in practice every day.
Yeah.
And, it is practice, but at the same time, he's going out there and he's competing with these guys. So, Cal, what about you? Who's your favorite addition to the Atlanta Falcons this year?
Well,
are we gonna go with another? Are we gonna go with another Daniel answer right now?
We are one person.
Y'all on the same wavelength or something?
All the time.
I would say, yeah. I think out of the draft, especially, it is Davidson because of his attitude, etc. But I'm gonna go for Gurley, just because I think a few days before when he got released, me and Danny I was just like, I'd love to get him, like absolutely love to get him. And then literally Danny sent me like the message about 3 hours later saying we've just signed him. I was just like, oh my God, what a buzz that is. Because I think it's a lot of people, not a lot of people, a few people, mostly opposite fans of like, oh, it's not a good signing, etc. But it's a win-win situation for us. I think $5 million on the cap, 1 year deal, prove it deal.
1 year deal. So
if he hits 12 touchdowns, he's already beat what all of our running backs got last year. So. And in the all the training sessions we've had, etc., I think it's like with his knee, etc. He looks pumped this year, and obviously being back in Georgia, especially, I don't think he can wait to get back on the field.
And you just said it right there. So I've watched Todd Gurley at Georgia. I'm not really a Georgia fan, but I'm just a football fan. I'm an SEC fan. I like ACC football. So I just like watching great players. I don't have to actually root for that team. I just like watching great players. And Todd Gurley at Georgia was something special. But you said it, Cal, yourself. If he can give us 12 touchdowns, 800 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving, add a couple touchdowns, he doesn't have to be that 1,000-yard rusher that he was with LA. He really doesn't have to be that. If he can just be a version of his old self, 75, 80% of what he used to be, and be able to score the touch. He has like 20 more touchdowns than any other running back since he entered the league in 2015. Last 3 years, he scored almost 50 touchdowns. This guy is still producing. It's just the knee injury. And to me, he looks healthy. I think the Atlanta Falcons are being smart with the way they manage him. When he was first with LA, man, they pounded. He pounded the rock. He was their only offense this rookie, his first and second year. And then, when McVay came over his third and fourth year, he did produce as well. But he was a bell cow those first couple of years. So he took a pounding. And I think that with this offense, he's going to be able to, be an added addition to a Hayden Hurst, a Calvin Ridley, a Julio Jones. And Brian Hill and Ito Smith, those are capable running backs. And, excuse me. Those are capable running backs. And I think that thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I had to sneeze for about 5 minutes. But I didn't want to sneeze, and then, he's got the corona, so I just tried to hold it. But I'm good. I'm good over here, guys. But I think Todd Gurley is just going to be a welcome addition to this Atlanta Falcons team. And I think he's the wild card, Cal. I really think he is, if he shows up and he's his old Todd Gurley self, 1,200 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns. Watch out in the NFL. I'm telling you.
Definitely.
Atlanta Falcons this year can be scary. And it's just such a great offseason that we've had considered what we did last year. Last year we picked up Vic Beasley's option. We know how that turned out. We also signed Javon Brown to a 3-year, $18 million deal. We released him this week. So, I think that this year, this offseason, Thomas Dimitroff, Dan Quinn, it's do or die right now for these guys.
Yeah.
And how did you feel? Did you want to keep Dan Quinn around? Do you like the brotherhood? I mean, if I hear brotherhood one more time, my whole thing is at this point, it's out there and go make plays. Okay, I don't want to hear about your brother. I don't want to hear about all that. I want you guys to go out there and make plays and be held accountable for what you're doing. That's kind of how I feel about it. We can talk about the Super Bowl loss all we want. It's over with. 3 years later, we need to move on. The brotherhood thing, it was great while it lasted. Now it needs to be, hey, let's go out there, let's perform, let's win ball games. That's what it needs to be about. 9-7, 10-6 is kind of what I'm seeing this year. That's just what from a fan who is optimistic but still knows the Atlanta Falcons, and a tough schedule this year. Tough schedule.
Very tough.
My prediction is, I'm going to go 10-6, 9-7, 10-6, somewhere right around that range. I saw Sports Illustrated or something had us in the wild card and going 9-7. What do you guys think? And all right, you cannot have the same answer on this, okay, guys?
Oh no!
What's the record? I'm just messing around. I'm just messing. All right, start with Cal. We'll start with Cal. What's your prediction for the season? What do you think happens? And we'll start with you.
I think I said 10. I said 10-6. I think you've got to. Well, I think 10-6 would get at least a wild card spot anyway. But I think for Dan Quinn himself, he has to. I don't think it's just a wild card. I think me and Danny both said, if he gets a wild card spot, he might keep his job. But I think we need to get in deep into the playoffs, at least if you get to the championship game. I think to save his job, I think it could be that vital to go far. But I'm going for 10-6 and hopefully a deeper playoff run. But I think it's got to be. I think for him and Dimitrov, I think it's got to be. I can't see any other situation. And obviously what happened last year, hopefully I know the schedule's a lot harder this year, but if we take the momentum what we have in the last 8 games of last year, hopefully we can start on a winning run straight away.
Yeah. And you said it right there. I think getting off to a good start is really, really important.
Yeah.
You can't start 1-4, 1-5, you can't do that this year. Out of September, so we play the Seattle Seahawks first, okay, and then we're followed up by the Dallas Cowboys, and then the Chicago Bears, and then I think that'll end the September. So those 3 games right there, those are big games for us to start the season. Those first games, Daniel, what do you think? What do you think our record's going to be? What's your prediction for the season?
Yeah, you're going to abuse me for this, but you can listen to our show from about a month and a half ago. Me and Cal both went 10-6. However, we've got different wins throughout the season, so it is legitimate.
Yeah.
But I'm going 10-6, and I agree with Cal as in we need a deep playoff run, absolute minimum. If we get anything like how we started off last season, the 1-7, then Dan Quinn won't make it that far into the season again. Absolutely, categorically will not make it that far. However, with us finishing 6-2, with us finishing 6-2, I'd be very shocked if we don't take that momentum forward with us into the next season. And I know we have a lot of new players and there's a lot of new rookies in there, but I still think that there's enough of a core in there to think, right, we finished 6-2. We fought for the coach for those like the second half of the season. And I think we're carrying that forward. I think we'll go into this bye week on a pretty heavy positive, maybe 2 losses in there-ish before then.
Yeah. And it starts in about 17 days, guys. NFL is right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta Falcons take on the Seattle Seahawks, 1 o'clock on September 13th. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait till this season starts. And looking forward not only to the season starting, and Thomas Dimitrov, he's done a better job in the last 2 years of getting some guys in the trenches. Drafted Marlon Davidson, added Dante Fowler. Of course, we drafted the 2 offensive linemen last year in the first round, plus Hennessy in the 3rd round this year. You're drafting guys in the top 3 rounds last 2 years. We've added 5 guys to that offensive and defensive line. I think that could really pay dividends.
Yeah.
Sorry,
definitely.
my computer died real quick. I really think it could pay dividends to what they're going to do this season. So I'm with you. I really think that 9-7, 10-6, somewhere right around that range, the added playoff spot that the NFC and AFC have added, that's huge. That we could definitely sneak in to that 5, 6, 7 range. But hopefully we're competing for the division championship. I really think that I'm not sold on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not sold on them. Drew Brees, we split with them last year, 1-1. They don't scare me as much as maybe they do some other teams. I know we can compete with them. I know we can go in and battle. We may not like the outcome every time we go into a matchup with them, but we normally play them pretty good.
Yeah.
At least one game a year, at least. So, guys, thank y'all so much for coming on today. And tell the people, so Atlanta Falcons UK, they're on Twitter. They got Facebook, pretty much anywhere where you can find podcasts, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio app, all that good stuff. Tell the people where they can find you on Twitter, because, I mean, you're really big on – Twitter's got y'all's big thing right now, right?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Twitter's our home at the minute. We've got everything else and everything. We're still active on it all, but Twitter seems to be where the community is proper building. So our @ on every social media is ATLFalconsUK. So that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Our podcast's under the same name. YouTube as well, which is starting to get rolling a little bit now as well. So hopefully we'll pop this in there as well. So it's looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, guys, I really appreciate y'all taking y'all's time out of your day to come on the show. And I will definitely have to be a guest on y'all's show. You just let me know the time and place. I'll definitely be on there. And we're partners at The Worst Take as well.
We are.
That's how we kind of know each other, from at The Worst Take.
Yep.
So shout out to The Worst Take. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons UK, guys. And I just want to say thank y'all so much for coming up. Rise up, and man, football season is right around the corner, guys.
Thank you.
Definitely is. Thank you for having us.
Hey, thank y'all, man.